Welcome to the Mysteries of the Mind program, where we explore the fascinating yet often unexplained abilities of the human brain. I'm Elliot Forbes, your host. On this edition, our guest, Rick Allen, a professional certified hypnotist, author of several self-improvement books such as Powerful Ways to Sharpen Your Memory, the new How to Live on 24 Hours a Day, the Quick and Easy Speed Reading Course, and his newest book, Bringing Hypnosis Out of the Dark Ages. Rick also travels throughout the country presenting lectures, classes, and seminars, as well as being one of the country's top stage hypnotists. Welcome, Rick Allen, to Mysteries of the Mind.
Thank you, Elliot. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'd like to get right into the discussion, Rick. I have many questions that I think our listeners may have about hypnosis. Truly one of the mysteries of the mind.
That would be great, Elliot. Let's get started.
Okay, first off, a lot of people have many misconceptions about hypnosis. What it can do, what it can't do, even if it's for real. So let me start off with asking, Rick, is hypnosis real?
Well, that's a very good question to start with, Elliot, because hypnosis is real. Actually, we spend the majority of our lives in hypnosis. People don't realize that. Actually, more than being a hypnotist, you could actually classify me as being a dehypnotist because I spend a great deal of time bringing people out of trance rather than putting them into trance. So, yes, as we go on with the interview, you'll certainly find out that hypnotism is, in fact, very real.
Okay. There have been a lot of movies, TV shows, and fictional novels about hypnosis, and some of them seem just a little far-fetched. How accurate is that hypnosis portrayed in the movies and in books, Rick?
Well, not very accurately, for the most part. Most people are familiar and actually develop what they think hypnosis is from those old-time movies that
Svengali and stuff?
On the late shows, and everything, where they, they see the hypnotist come out and he's... got the mustache and the cape and the top hat, and he comes out with the pocket watch and he waves it in front of the girl and puts her into trance and throws her over his shoulder and traipses her off to the woods to have his way with her, And I usually tell people that, actually we did away with the pocket watches a long time ago.
So it really doesn't work that way? Is that what
no,
you're telling
it doesn't. No, certainly not. People have to keep in mind that movies and novels, although entertaining as they may be, that they're totally fictional and they're written with the purpose of being entertaining. Hypnosis actually is a very simple process. You asked earlier about whether hypnosis is real.
Right.
And my answer to that is yes, all hypnosis in actuality is self-hypnosis. And you see, all that a hypnotist does and all that I do when I work with someone under hypnosis, whether it be in a stage show or in a therapeutic situation, that certainly is.
Oh.
You're in total control. All hypnosis is in actuality self-hypnosis. And, as I said, even though the movies and the books and the TV shows and everything, that they're entertaining. I enjoy watching them myself. But you do have to keep in mind that they are fictional and that they are for entertainment. So, of course, that kind of opens up free reins of all of the misconceptions that have arisen about what hypnosis is. So, as entertaining as they are, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's interesting because in reading your book that you supplied to me, your new book, Bringing Hypnosis Out of the Dark Ages, I see that you dispel many of the myths that surround hypnosis just in that way. For instance, can a person actually be made to do things against their will by a hypnotist?
Well, the fact that hypnosis is self-hypnosis, Elliot, kind of eliminates that, doesn't it? Because a person actually is not going to do anything under hypnosis that they would not normally do themselves. Hypnosis is just a altered state of concentration, is probably the simplest way to explain it. Now, if you would question 12 different hypnotists, you would probably get 12 different definitions of actually what hypnosis is. It truly is, appropriate to your program here, it truly is one of the mysteries of the mind. Because we don't know exactly how it works. We know what it does and all of that, but we don't know exactly how it works. And there's lots of theories and conjecture and all of that and that come into it. But the fact that it's self-hypnosis, my simple answer is no. You know, a person will not do anything that they would not normally do. If that was the case, it would be very simple for me to hypnotize someone and send them off to the bank to rob the bank and bring the money all back to me. I wouldn't be talking to you on this program.
Well, I understand what you're saying, because in a number of the episodes here in Mysteries of the Mind, we have found that there are a lot of things that neither medicine or science can tell us about the mind in the way it works. So let me ask you this. Can anyone be hypnotized, or are only weak-minded people able to be?
Is that I say the right words in the right place at the right time.
Are you saying we do this all to ourselves?
Yes, I found in my research is that quite the opposite is true. Rather than someone submitting, if you will, to a hypnotist, a person who leans towards being on the more intelligent side, I find is often a much better person to work with. They go into the hypnotic trance state much quicker than someone who would be termed weaker mind.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, there's only, in actuality, statistics show that there's only about 1% of the total population of the world who cannot actually be hypnotized. Now, why that is, no one really knows.
Another of those mysteries of the mind.
It's just a mystery of the mind.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with their intelligence, because, once again, statistically, some of the people are highly intelligent, almost genius level, and others are on the total opposite end of the scale. I would say that probably the only real people that cannot effectively be hypnotized easily, that does not mean that they cannot be hypnotized, just that they cannot be hypnotized easily, would be someone who is mentally incapacitated. Although a lot of progress has been made, that's outside of my expertise, but a lot of things, and once again, you know, the mysteries of the mind today.
Well, one of the things that I always see is from hypnosis is it's often portrayed as some kind of truth serum. Is there any truth to that fact?
Well, you know, a lot of times people have a great fear, particularly when I do like a stage show, of, you know, revealing secrets. I do a lot of corporate work, and sometimes a corporate executive may be a little hesitant to participate in the performance because he's afraid that under hypnosis he might reveal the
some secret of his industry,
the secret formula for the company, or
for the baked beans or something.
Yeah, you know, and that once again is just a myth. The fact, it all goes back to that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, and the fact that you are not going to say or do anything under hypnosis that you would not do under normal abilities. And once again, you know, if that was the case, it would be so easy for me to just hypnotize people and say, you know, give me your credit card number and your PIN number. I'm out of here, you know.
Well.
And people just will not, and hopefully that's what we're clearing up some here with the program here today.
As long as we're clearing things up, let me ask something else that I've heard. I don't know if it's an urban myth, Rick, but is it possible for a person to enter a hypnotic trance and not be able to come out of it? In other words, virtually becoming stuck in hypnosis, hypnotized.
Well, once again, this goes back to those misconceptions of the stories, you know, in the movies about hypnosis. Actually, you know, the fact that I have found, Elliot, if I can ask you a question, the fact that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, what would be the answer to that? The answer, of course, would be no.
I would assume so, but
right.
But you're the expert. That's why we have you.
Well, the fact that all hypnosis is indeed self-hypnosis, it's an impossibility. And in all of the thousands of years of the practice of hypnosis, although it's not always been called hypnosis, it goes back many, almost since the beginning of time. There has never been a documented case that I'm aware of, or that any other qualified hypnotist is aware of, where a person has become stuck, if you will, in hypnosis. I often tell people when I'm doing a stage performance that all that you will do is, when you enter the hypnotic trance, is enter a very relaxed state. And in that state, if something would happen medically to me, or I would just decide to leave for some reason and leave you in that trance,
right.
What would happen? And all that would happen is that I tell people is that they would just fall into a deep sleep. And by the way, that's one of the great benefits of hypnosis, that a 45-minute hypnotic session can actually have the same benefits of 6 to 8 hours of regular sleep.
Really?
And a lot of people find that fascinating, and it is. It's a very interesting and good benefit of hypnosis.
I've read several articles over the years that say that hypnosis can be dangerous. I get from what you're saying is that must be entirely untrue. Is that correct?
Well, it's not true that hypnosis itself can be dangerous. Now, some of the things that hypnosis can be used for are a little questionable. And let me point this out, because I do want to make this very clear, because it is one of the greatest misconceptions that people have about hypnosis. And what is I consider dangerous about hypnosis is not the hypnosis itself. Obviously, with the things that I've already talked about, there's no way that you're going to become stuck in hypnosis. You're not going to reveal things under hypnosis that you normally wouldn't under normal circumstances, unless it's dealing with a problem. You're not going to develop amnesia or anything like that. But one of the danger areas that is of great concern with hypnosis is that of pain control. Now, one of the amazing things about hypnosis is that you can cause a person to become desensitized to pain. So it can be very, very beneficial. Particularly someone who, let's say, is suffering from degenerative or even just, severe arthritis, and they have arthritic pain, and they would like to be able to relieve that. And in some situations, obviously, some people are not able, for whatever reason, to take any type of medication for that. Well, hypnosis can be used to relieve that pain. But the problem is this, Elliot: when a person has the pain removed, that is your body telling you that there is a problem.
Oh, absolutely, certainly.
And when that pain is removed by the hypnosis, then your body is still telling you the pain is still there. The pain never goes away. Your mind becomes desensitized to it. And that the fact that the only reason that a person has pain to begin with is that it's indicating a problem, I find that potentially a little dangerous, because the pain could ultimately be signaling a much more severe problem. And if it would go ignored, then that problem obviously would develop even more. Yeah. And that is one of the only areas that I have ever found that I have concern with pain. And in fact, I'll not even deal with a client with any pain issues, even if they're just mild headaches or migraines or something like that, without a medical referral.
Well, that makes perfect sense. We should never ignore signals of ill health or pain for any reason.
Exactly, because it's indicating that there is a bigger problem.
You brought up something very interesting there. I know that you do hypnosis as a form of entertainment, as a stage hypnotist, and also more in a clinical nature. And maybe you can have our listening audience out there, maybe you can help them a little bit. What should a person look for when considering a hypnotist?
Well, depending on what part of the country that you live in, some areas it is at this point controlled by the state. Some areas are controlled with some type of licensing, meaning that you have to have some type of qualifications. However, about half of the states in the United States alone, you have no qualifications. In essence, what I'm saying is that anybody can decide after listening to this program that they want to be a hypnotist and hang their shingle out, and they're allowed to practice as a hypnotist. Now, there is an organization called the National Guild of Hypnotists who certifies hypnotists, and that is who I am certified through. And they require each year that we go through a recertification, which means that we have to take additional training, we have to attend seminars, that type of thing, to make sure that we're up on any new developments, advances, and that type of thing.
Just as any medical practitioner
as any medical, although we are not. Now, some hypnotists are medical doctors. I am not.
Okay.
I'm certified, and that's the extent of it. The only reason I bring that out is that I don't want any misconceptions about what I can do. I cannot give medical advice, the same as someone who does not practice law cannot give legal advice.
Right.
However, within my field of hypnosis, I'm qualified to do that. So one of the big things that I suggest someone looking for a hypnotist, whether it be me or someone else, is to make sure that you check into their credentials. They should have more training than just having read,
Sure.
a couple of books. And in fact, in some areas, they don't even have to do that.
Well, that's good advice when you take counsel from anyone out there.
Exactly.
I want to tell our listeners that we're talking with the author of Bringing Hypnosis Out of the Dark Ages, certified hypnotist Rick Allen, on this edition of Mysteries of the Minds. Rick, since we're closing in on the end of this program here, I've heard a lot of things hypnosis can be used for. It seems almost like a cure for so many things. Let's call it a cure-all. What type of things specifically can hypnosis be used for?
Well, first of all, it's not a cure-all for everything. In fact, hypnosis does not cure anything. Hypnosis is actually just an aid to help. The same as if you would, you have a headache, so you take a couple of aspirin. That does not eliminate the problem. It doesn't cure anything. It just takes the pain away for a while. And hypnosis is very similar to that. Of course, most people are familiar with areas of having seen, for entertainment purposes, a stage hypnotist.
Sure.
Who, depending on who it is, I have to honestly say varies greatly in the quality of the type of performance that they may present. I'm all about not embarrassing people in a performance, at least not at their expense of embarrassment. And well,
I have to admit, I have seen a few hypnotists in comedy clubs and those types of things, and some of the things that they have done, if I were up there, I would have been embarrassed. I have to frankly tell you that.
And that is a great concern. And once again, the National Guild of Hypnotists has developed pretty much a code of ethics. But of course, if you're not a member of the organization, which is considered a prestigious organization, by the way. Because you do have to go through qualifications to become a member, and you have to be accepted as a member. And they do pretty well have a code of ethics. But I just don't believe in the things, as funny as it may be. Having someone go around the stage and cluck like a chicken, to me, is demeaning to that person and to hypnosis overall. So I'm not in favor of doing those types of things. But the original question that you asked about what hypnosis can be used for,
yes.
Therapeutically, of course, most people are familiar or have heard that it's a tremendous aid for stop smoking, weight loss and control.
Tried that myself.
Right, and it can be. I find that one of the most beneficial things about hypnosis is the ability to reduce stress. We all have way too much stress. In fact, I have a very effective program that we offer on how to reduce stress in 15 minutes or less, and it can be done anywhere. It doesn't matter whether you're in your office, at home. Don't suggest doing it while you're driving. But other than that,
I think half the people on the highway are doing that, Rick.
If you're going to do that, if you're totally stressed out, pull off the road and listen to it. This, by the way, is in a CD audio form. And I just find it one of the most beneficial. But it also can be used for sports enhancement. In fact, almost every Olympic contender uses some form of self-hypnosis and visualization to aid them in their performance of the sports that they're in. And the list just goes on and on of the things that can build confidence. It can end stage fright in people. I deal with a lot of business people in my corporate work that have a fear of making speeches in front of groups of people. And of course, many people in corporate, that's a very important part of their job. And they have a tremendous fear to where they physically get sick when they have to stand up in front of a group of people and present even the simplest of information to them. Hypnosis can be a tremendous aid in all of that. So it just goes on and on and on.
This is absolutely fascinating, Rick. Our program is growing a little short here. I know that you're an ethical hypnotist, that you're a certified hypnotist. But Rick, I have to ask this. A lot of our listeners out there have an interest in it, so I feel that it's my job to ask you this. And I hope you don't take offense in any way. How effective is hypnosis for past life regressions, astral projection, and recounting UFO encounters?
Well, Elliot, I will give you my honest answer to that. And my honest answer is that I have taken many people back into what they consider a past life. I have taken many people on what they consider astral journeys. I have had many people recount what they feel are UFO encounters. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. I find it totally fascinating, some of the information that is revealed by these people during these sessions. I pretty well have to leave it up to the person of whether they believe whether any of this is true or whether it's created by false memories. This is a new area that's still being explored. There's lots of questions in everybody's minds about how legitimate some of the answers are. A lot of it depends on the hypnotists themselves and the type of session that is being done.
And, of course, the mysteries of our mind.
That's right, because we just don't know.
Rick, we're about out of time on this program, but before we sign off, I know that you have several books, audio programs, and, of course, your live classes and seminars that you present. How can our listeners contact you for more information and to get some of your materials? This has been a most enlightening and fascinating program, folks. We've been talking with a certified hypnotist, Rick Allen, and author of the new book, Bringing Hypnosis Out of the Dark Ages, about one of the true mysteries of the mind. Until next time, this is Elliot Forbes, and this has been Mysteries of the Mind.